and kung mas mataas naman, mas maliit yung aperture. And yung pinagkaiba nila, pag wide yung f number mo, yung background medyo blurred, naka-blurred. Pero kung maliit lang, malinaw tingnan pati background. Next. Shutter speed. It is the amount of time that the camera shutter is open and measures the length of exposure. Dun sa camera, para meron siyang curtain na pag clinic mo yung button ng camera, magbubukas yung curtain na yun para yung light makapasok, then magsasara din ulit. And mini-measure naman siya in seconds or fraction of a second. Pag mas mababa, ay pag slow yung second, yung picture medyo hindi visible yung makukuha mo. Pero kung mabilis naman, tulad dito, yung flow ng tubig makikita. Next. ISO. ISO represents the sensitivity of the light sensor within the camera. Ito naman yung kumokontrol sa sensitivity kung gaano ba ka-dark or light yung picture. Ini-measure naman ito in numbers like 100, 200, so on. Pag mababa yung ISO, yung numbers, mas less sensitive siya sa light. Tulad dito. 800 ISO lang. Mas dark siya kung ikukumpara mo sa 1600 na ISO. Next. Tips and photography. Make sure you have quality equipment. Mas better kung may magandang quality ka ng camera dahil mas maganda din yung picture na makukuha mo. Get your settings right. Yung 3 settings na sinabi ko kanina, dapat yon tama yun or nakaayon siya sa sitwasyon ng ng mga settings. Take multiple shots. Always take a few more just to be safe. Para mas marami ring pagpipilian na picture at matitiyak mo rin kung anong picture ba yung mas maganda or mas better. Try different angles and viewpoints. Kung magpipicture ka, subukan mo rin yung iba't ibang angles dahil yung picture, nakapagbigay siya ng presence, voice, and visual sa mga ng tao, paningin ng tao. Watch the light. Isa to sa mga importanteng factor dahil nakaka-apekto yung light sa pagkuha ng picture. Dapat alam natin kung paano i-handle yung light para hindi pumangit yung picture. Next. Lock the focus. Kung example, kung tao yung kukuhaan mo ng picture, dapat ilock mo lang sa tao yung focus para maging maayos at alam din ng iba kung ano ba yung picture na gusto mong kuhaan. Use filters and settings. Subukan nyo rin pag-aralan yung mga settings para mas maging better pa yung pagkuha ng picture. Be aware of the background. Importante din na dapat malinis or maayos yung background para hindi magmukhang magulo yung picture. Edit your photos. Pagkatapos mo picturean yung subject, i-edit mo ito para mas gumanda din yung picture and ma-impluwensyahan mo rin yung mga titingin sa picture. Practice, practice, practice. Keep on working on every aspect of your photography. Kapag nagpa-practice ka ng nagpa-practice, mas magiging better ka sa pagkuha ng picture. Yun lang.
Next slide, please. Next. So, post-processing. Post-processing in photography refers to the actions or manipulations a photographer may perform on a photograph after it has been taken. This can be compared to the development process of film in traditional photography but applied to digital images. The essence of post-processing is to enhance or alter the appearance of a photo to better reflect the photographer's vision, adjust flaws, or meet certain aesthetic standards. So, as you can see sa dalawang picture na nasa screen, sa picture sa left side, ayun yung raw image na kinuha ng isang photographer ng isang sunset, no? So, sa left side, medyo madilim pa siya. Then, after dumaan ng picture sa post-processing, may kita nyo sa right side, medyo nag-pop up na yung mga kulay and medyo lumiwanag. So, yung post-processing, ito yung proseso na pag-edit ng mga picture kung saan hindi ka pa nasa-satisfied sa raw image, kaya ine-edit mo siya para makuha mo yung result na gusto mong makuha sa kung anong gusto mong maging itsura ng mga kinukuha mong photo. Next slide, please. Okay, so I will be talking about naman sa mga softwares na ginagamit sa post-processing. So, first example ng softwares na ginagamit sa post-processing is yung Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is the industry's standard for faster graphics editing, widely used for photo editing, compositing, digital art, and more. And yung second naman is yung Lightroom. Lightroom is also from Adobe. It's tailored for photo editing and cataloging, offering a more photography-focused toolset, no? So, yung pinagkaiba nung Adobe Photoshop sa Lightroom is yung sa Adobe Photoshop, pwede ka doon tawag dito, mag-compose ng mga 3D art mo. Then sa Lightroom naman, mas focus yun sa photo editing lang talaga. And then yung third example ng softwares is yung Capture One. Capture One is renowned for its color handling and tethered shooting capabilities, popular among professional photographers. Next slide. And then ito naman yung mga post-processing softwares na ginagamit sa videography or video editing. First is yung Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is a leading video editing software for professionals and hobbyists alike. Used for editing, adjusting color, refining audio, and more. Second example naman is yung DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is notable for its advanced color correction and audio post-production capabilities alongside its editing features. Third example naman is yung Final Cut Pro X. Final Cut Pro X is a powerful video editor for Mac OS known for its magnetic timeline and high-performance editing features. So, yung pinagka lang ng Final Cut Pro X sa dalawa is yung Final Cut Pro X, available lang siya sa Mac OS. While yung dalawa, pwede siyang install sa Windows and Mac OS. Next slide. And then, ito naman yung mga post-processing software na ginagamit for 3D modeling and animation. First is yung Blender. Blender is a free and open source 3D creation suite supporting all aspects of 3D development including modeling, rigging, animation, simulation, rendering, and motion tracking. And then second is yung Autodesk Maya. Autodesk Maya is widely used in the film and TV industry. And then yung third is yung Cinema 4D. Yung Cinema 4D, pares lang sila ni Autodesk Maya. Widely used din yung Cinema 4D in the film and TV industry. Yung mga 3D modeling and animation softwares na to, ito usually yung ginagamit sa mga films like Transformers or yung bago ngayon na film ng Godzilla vs. Kong in which heavily CGI operated yung movie. More on editing siya instead na katulad ng instead ko-compare mo sa mga ibang drama film na more on tao yung umaak. Next slide please. So, papaliwanag ko naman yung workflow. Yung unang-unang process ng post-processing is yung collection or generation ng initial data or yung magiging output. No? So, dito sa process na to, magtitake ka lang ng mga raw pictures kung anong mga gusto mong sceneries or videos na para sa'yo is entertaining sa human eye. Next slide. And then second step of the process naman is yung evaluation and initial assessment. So dito sa evaluation and initial assessment is i-assess mo yung quality ng initial na tinake mo na picture. I-assess mo kung pasok ba siya sa standards mo and kung ano yung mga gusto mong ibahin dun sa picture. Next slide. And then the third step is yung cleanup and correction. Sa cleanup and correction, you will remove noise, adjust sharpness, crop unnecessary parts, and correct colors. So dito sa part na to, for mga hindi ka gustong part ng photo or video na kinuha mo, i-remove mo lang 'yun sa part ng picture or video. Next slide. And then yung pang-apat na step is yung enhancement and adjustment. Adjust, in which you will adjust exposure, contrast, saturation, and apply filters to enhance the visual appeal. So dito sa part na to, unlike sa last step, magre-remove ka lang ng mga hindi mo gusto sa picture. Dito naman is mag-a-adjust ka na ng mga hindi pasok sa standard mo sa part ng picture. For example, hindi mo yung kulay, medyo gloomy yung picture na na-take mo, for example. Pwede mong itaasan yung exposure ng picture para lumiwanag yung itsura niya. Ganun. Next slide. And then the fifth step ng post-processing is yung detailed editing or modification. If necessary lang. Perform detailed retouching, composite multiple images, or apply specialized effects. So, kaya may nakalagay na if necessary lang dito is if hindi ka pa satisfied after mo dumaan sa last step, which is yung i-adjust mo yung mga kulay na sa pictures, pwede mo pang gawin tong part na to, which is yung detailed talaga, napapalitan mo yung mga part ng picture. Kumbaga may maboborahin ka pa, for example, sa picture mo, na photobomb ka, ganun. May mga photobomber sa likod. Buburahin mo yun sa part ng picture mo, detailed. Yun. Next slide. And then the next step is yung final review and adjustment. Review the post-process output in detail. Dito naman sa part na to, kapag na-satisfied ka na is, pwede mo nang i-analyze yung picture or yung video if na-meet na yung criteria na hinahanap mo. Next slide. And then, seventh step of the post-processing workflow is yung export or save. Export the final version in the desired format and resolution. Dito mo na-export or save sa kung anong device man yung gamit mo sa pag-edit, yung picture or yung video na in-edit mo. Next slide. And then, last part of the post-processing workflow is yung distribution or application. Is yung sharing of the final product na. So, kapag satisfied ka na, nakuha mo na yung criteria ng gusto mong kunin na picture or video, pwede mo na yung i-share sa social media if hobby mo man na mag-take ng photos or videos. And thank you.
Next po. Online resources refers to documents, information, and material available